Hi, I'm Pam and I'm here to talk about video games. Today I'm talking about a late release game that switches things up constantly and looks fantastic. It's Zen Intergalactic Ninja. Zen Intergalactic Ninja was developed by Konami and released on NES in 1993. A Game Boy version released at the same time. Zen is based on a comic book character of the same name. He's an alien that was raised by the Masters of Ohm, who trained him to be a mercenary ninja. In the game, Zen is fighting against Lord Contaminus and his toxic henchmen, who are out to destroy the Earth with pollution. The levels in Zen take place in either a side-scrolling or isometric view, and his abilities in each are slightly different. You can always jab with your photon stick to damage enemies. In side view, you can hook an enemy with the staff and slam them over your head. You can also hang from or climb on pipes, and you can do a rather energetic wall jump. In isometric view, you can hook enemies, spin them around, and toss them. You can also do jump attacks or long jumps by tapping B while in the air. You have a fairly large health bar, and if it's getting low, you can press select to meditate and regenerate. However, you can only do this a limited number of times, indicated in the bottom right of the screen. In the game's start menu, you can choose your difficulty as well as how many lives you start with. I played on normal, but tried out a couple levels on both easy and difficult, and I honestly didn't notice much of a difference. At the beginning, you're presented with a map screen, allowing you to choose between 4 stages. No matter which you pick, it will start with a description from the Masters of Ohm, telling you your objective and a little scene of Zen entering the location. This is a bit of an odd one to review. The game changes so much from stage to stage that I think I'm just gonna have to talk about all of them. The Toxic Factory is one of the game's isometric levels. Here, Zen just needs to escape before the timer runs out. He'll need to avoid obstacles and fight some robots, but the real challenge is the platforming section. You'll have to traverse a series of platforms above a bottomless void. Some are treadmills, some move around, and sometimes you'll have a robot arm looming above you, threatening to pluck you up and drop you to your death. This was the most challenging of the 4 stages, partially because it was the first one I played, but also because isometric platforming is tough. The level's saving grace is that Zen has a very obvious shadow which you can line up with the platforms as you descend from your jumps. Still though, accidents happen. There's also a very strange segment where you need to battle a fence for a hole in the ground, and if it pushes you out, you get smushed. The level ends in a boss fight against Smogger, who can turn into smoke and throw fireballs at you. In the Slickson oil rig, you have to rescue people trapped on the burning rig. This is a side-scrolling level, and it's mostly about avoiding fire damage that is raining from above, as well as small oil enemies, while finding fire extinguishers and all the trapped people. You press up plus B to put out fires, and are making your way steadily upwards as you go. In the end, you fight Oil Slick, who attempts to cover you in the stuff. I liked the concept of this level and how it was more about saving people than fighting things. Runaway Railcar is a minecart level that switches between side and isometric views. You have to jump over gaps in the track, fight enemies who are also in carts, and jump over or destroy things that get in your way. You also need to be on the lookout for track switches. The speed on this level is incredible. At times my eyes had trouble focusing on what was going on. The boss here is Garbage Man, and he likes to throw garbage at you. Lastly, there's the Acid Rain Forest. The ultimate goal is to fight the boss, Sulfura, at the top of the trees. While you're doing this, acid rain is damaging the flowers below, and if they get hurt, you get hurt. You'll need to take breaks from the fight to go back down and smack the flowers with your photon stick to revive them. This level looks really cool, but winds up being incredibly short once you figure out what you need to do. I love the variation in this game. Every environment looks distinct and gives you something unique to do. And we're not even done yet, as after each of the main stages, there's another little bonus level. Keeping with the game's environmental theme, there's a recycling bonus stage. You need to hit items falling from the sky into the recycler. If you get 6 of each type of item, you can get a bonus, like increasing your maximum health, getting an extra life, a shield, or another use of your healing meditation ability. A couple areas get very vertical. One has you wall jumping in a chase for a kidnapped boy who you need to rescue. Another has you falling through a cavern, having to dodge enemies and platforms while a spiked ceiling falls after you, threatening to crush you. This one was reminiscent of Quickman's level from Mega Man 2. When you're done with all of this, you'll be faced with 4 boss fights in a row. First, there's a slime monster who spits frogs at you. This is the most annoying part of the game by far, as the boss will pop up randomly in a number of different spots and will spawn frogs. It can take forever to whittle his health down because it's not always possible to reach him when he appears. And the frogs are very hard to hit. The next boss is an amalgamation of scrap metal and is not too interesting or different from the other isometric bosses. It's the last 2 bosses that are the real standouts. First, you'll need to fight a clone of yourself in a lab, and this is definitely the most difficult of all the boss fights. It has the exact same abilities as you do, including the ability to heal back up to full. Twice. Finally, you fight Lord Contaminus himself. There's a quick pre-fight in his throne room, then you battle in space, in orbit above the Earth. In this fight, you need to not only work at killing Contaminus, who can also heal himself up to full multiple times, but also take out the little pods he spawns. If you don't, they'll plummet to the Earth, polluting it and doing harm. You can watch the planet turn red as it's damaged, and if too many get by, you lose the fight. I love boss fights that take place in space, and this one is pretty epic. Zen was made near the end of the NES life cycle, and the developers at Konami knew what they were doing. The result is one of the best looking games I've seen on the system. The sprites are large and detailed with great animations. Oil Slick is particularly impressive with how he oozes into a puddle of oil, then reforms. And all of Zen's abilities are impressive to look at. The use of color is good, and I especially like the acid rainforest. It's very detailed and lush, with so many different kinds of surfaces, branches to hang on, grass to bounce off, and acid clouds threatening you at every turn. Every stage is as unique in its visual design and color palette as it is in its gameplay. The music is really great too, very energetic and fitting of what you're doing in the game. I also really like the sound effects and little flourishes when you beat a boss or finish a stage. It's a fairly short game, but things change up so much that it doesn't really feel like it. My biggest complaint is an uneven difficulty curve. In some ways, the game is quite forgiving. You have a lot of health, and the ability to self-heal is great. Just don't be like me and use all of your healing on early bosses and have nothing left for the end. You can gain extra lives, more health, and shields in a few places throughout the game, which help out as well. But there are some areas, many in the factory level, where deaths feel unavoidable and cheap. And when bosses start using your self-healing trick themselves, it is rather annoying. The fight against your clone, while cool to watch, just feels so much more difficult than anything else in the game. The Game Boy version of Zen has the same general concept, but plays completely differently. It's a straightforward side-scroller, and Zen's photon stick can shoot projectiles as well as be used for melee attacks. Zen Intergalactic Ninja is a really fun game with a ton of variety in its levels and gameplay. I love how many of the stages are more focused on objectives than on platforming or combat, and it's one of the best looking games on the NES. I highly recommend giving this one a shot if you haven't played it yet. If you want to see more NES, check out my review of Super Spy Hunter, or another of my videos. I have a Patreon if you want to support my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.